said, the microphone is over there. Speak up if you want people to hear you. But if you don't want people to hear you, whatever. No pressure, do whatever. But he is filming this, so he probably wants people to hear it.
Gotcha.
I guess. You want people to hear it a little bit?
I do.
I
do.
Just
yeah. It's playing in the background and everything. Holla.
Okay.
All right, so y'all can just start by, if y'all can, telling us your name, where you're from, and what it is. If someone asks, what do you do? What do you do? How would you answer that? So your name, where you're from, and what you do.
All right.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. So my name is Asha Tahira Middleton. Some people know me as Obbakemi. I am originally I'm from Elkhart, Indiana. And I am here in Nashville right now by way of West Tennessee. So, yep, I came here to go to Fisk University in '96. My so, yeah.
I am.
Oh, you said, what do I do? Sorry, go ahead, Baba. Where you come from?
Well, I am Baba Musa. I come from Nashville / Shelbyville, Tennessee. I am a founder. I'm a maker of noise. I'm a creator of fine art. I am an inspiration for the young people. I am an inspiration for the old people. But I'm an artist. Point blank. Point blank. That's it.
All right, to follow suit by Baba Musa, I am a bringer of laughter. I am a healer of wounds. I am a bearer of light. Yeah, I do womb work. I do soul work. I'm an artist, and I'm sister.
And how do y'all know each other?
We had a mutual friend named Nat. And Natalie and myself were in a band. We started a band called Cobalt Blue along with Matthew McCoy back in 2000. But actually, I think we before each other.
Or Cobalt Blue. Maybe I don't. How did I meet Baba Musa? Maybe at the doing dance class. But everybody knows Baba Musa from forever ago. That's just how it is.
Right.
But like I think specifically, it was around that time that really began to come to know each other. Yeah, my best friend was in a band with him, and I used to hang out at band practice all the time. Yeah.
You say you're from Nashville.
Yes, correct.
You say you're from West Tennessee. What city? What part of West Tennessee?
West Tennessee. So I'm originally from Elkhart, Indiana. My mother is from West Tennessee. Her people are from West Tennessee. So Gibson County, Humboldt, Milan, where else? Atwood, Huntington, Carroll County, so that area. The womb work that I do because I had to figure out how to, heal my own womb, right? And I realized that it's something that a lot of women don't know. Like, they know that you can, but they don't have the specifics, or they don't have the resources, or they don't have the access to those things. So when I learned how to, work on myself, and that's typically how the things that I birth come about. When when I'm doing it for myself, when I learn that skill, then I typically tend to share that with other people.
And Baba, what's your? I know. Some of your artistry entails sound therapist, copper.
As a musician, I've always been one of those from day one. Over here in the Grove, we have two. I became a drummer because I used to be an LSD salesman. And police shook me down like I was a total criminal, like I was a cartoon character. I said, I can't play no music in here, God. And 3 days later, the drum came to me. I've been playing the drum ever since. This was back in early 70s. As I was playing the drum, I learned that our people had a connection to it in America, but they didn't know how they were connected. Every time I would play, they would start acting African. I said, ooh, that's power in this. Then I hooked up with Osera Set Society people. Then I knew why they was acting, the way they was acting. And by being initiated into the society at that time, I learned how to move people's spirits with the drum. And from there, this came a way of life, really. And then guitar came to me, the keyboard come to me, the telephone come to me, the singing bowls come to me. Everything just come to me, started just coming. But it was initially about me and that drum and what God had in store for me with playing the drum. And to me, I still say I can't play it my way out of a wet paper bag. Because to me, I don't really like sound good to my ears kind of thing compared to what I hear other musicians and stuff do, drummers do kind of thing. But I learned that it was the spirit behind it, not the actual it was the spirit behind you know. So if you don't have the spirit in something, you don't have the blessing of the spirit of God in it, your work ain't, for lack of a better word, your work ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But another thing, it's a good thing that I learned from the Osera set, because you don't want to have no likes, no dislikes according to the way you move in this life. You want to be like Osera in the sense that, okay, whatever God tell me to do, I'm gonna do it. Whatever whatever I'm supposed to do in life, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna regret doing it. I'm not gonna put up no qualms about it. If I got to get in the mud and I got all my all-white song, I'm going to get in the mud and help you get out the mud. And then my wife is going to wash it out in the river on down the road, because we still got to go to this wedding, and we still got this function that we got to do. Or I just got to be at my wife's because I'm in ceremony for the next 5 years or something. You know what I'm saying? So it comes to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Community is about making sure that whoever is benefiting from whatever it is that I'm doing, period, regardless of what they look like, that's community, right? And I have a responsibility to a responsibility to know that I have an effect on that. So at this point in time, right now, we're at this event, we're in this neighborhood, I live in this neighborhood. So in so many ways, that's my community. I have a spiritual community. I have family. I have friends. So I have so many different communities, right? So it just really depends on, specifically what it is we're talking about. But to me, it means all the people that are going to be affected by my action.
I would second that.
Yeah.
All the people that's going to be affected by my action. But I'm gonna throw a wrench in it. Community is about how you living and who you living with. Simple as that. It's how you living, who you living it with, and how you are moving with each other. That's community. A lot of people jump on the bandwagon, but they ain't the band. And they ain't pulling the wagon, and they ain't trying to push the wagon. They just trying to like benefit from what the wagon has to throw off on the sides and fall off kind of thing, right? So I say you have to, in community, because I come from the times where black was black and white was white. I lived in those times. Black was black, white was white. And we as black people had to keep each other together in order to challenge this white power struggle that we was dealing with. Now we got integrated. Now the community is all black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Arab, and everything. Our basically homestead community, our basically North Nash, our basically South Nash, our basically Haynes Heights, our basically, all of those communities have been infiltrated, in regarding to, we say community. But then, what are you giving to it? What are you putting into the pot? Are you always reaching for something to take out of the pot? What are you pouring into the pot? What are you pouring into the people? How are you nourishing that child that's on the swing over there? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I question community because I've seen where the community, excuse my language, don't give a damn about you. And they'll leave you out hanging out there to dry, on the front line kind of thing, right? But then you turn around and look and you ain't got nobody standing with you. But we supposed to be community. We're supposed to be of some substance kind of thing. But a lot of people scared of the gunfire. A lot of people ain't gonna walk in that heat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Community means a whole lot of different, a little bit to me, because of things lived through. I remember the black bathroom. I remember the white bathroom. I remember you can't go in this store. I remember you can't eat at that counter. I remember you had to go upstairs at the movie theater. You can't go in the front door. You know what I'm saying? And now my sons and them, they don't know those experiences. They can read about it in the book, but then when they read about it in the book, they become angry. They say, how come you all allowed that to happen as a people? You know what I'm saying? And how you all were on top of the world, and now we ain't even the world no more. So, my sons question that, and I have to give them a hard answer. Arrogance. Arrogance destroys that. I understand. Arrogance. But that's my take on community.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be arrogant. You know what I mean? And be willing to give your all to the person that got the least. Because it's going to come back to you, because the earth provides for all of us. But if I'm too selfish and I'm holding my hand like this, I can't put nothing in it. But if it's hand like this, it can receive. Oh yeah, we had plenty of queen mothers. We had a lot of examples. We had a lot. You want to give them a list of the Queen Mothers? Give them a list of the Queen Mothers.
Baba Musa, you know, all the Queen Mothers.
Well, you know, we had Queen Mother Grand Dot, we had Queen Mother Ursula, we had Queen Mother Carl, we had Queen Mother Ursula, we had Kwame, we had Kwame Leo Lillard, you know, there was civil rights. He shut down the swimming pool over at Centennial Park because and Matthew Walker wanted to go swimming on a hot summer day. And they shut the park down. They shut the swimming pool down all across the city. Well, nobody going swimming. Black folk couldn't go swimming in the white folk park. They shut it down. So we had those kind of persons, you know. We had some of those, and then my biggest influence was my father, because he didn't play. He was a career war veteran. He was a lawyer. He was a merchant. He said you can stand on your own 2 feet. All you got to do is ask on how to do something, and somebody's going to tell you that answer. So we had a lot of examples to follow. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot. You know. But then I had big brothers that come back from the Nam, you know, from Vietnam, and they was like, man, you can do it a little bit different than what we did. You can move a little bit different than what we did. You know what I'm saying? We was here to take the bullet for you. We was here to take the blow from the police. So you don't have to take that. You can learn from our experiences from it and move accordingly. So we had those kind of street people that was just soldiers that was around too, you know what I'm saying? So everybody wasn't righteous. They was not righteous by no means, you know. Everybody was righteous, you know what I'm saying? And I have to say the Queen Mothers might have been some of the most righteous ones, but everybody else was a thug, in a sense. You know, they was criminals, you know, but they showed us how to avoid getting locked up in the system, getting our hands messed up in the system. You know what I'm saying? So it was about some of that too, you know, because you got to have a couple of killers on your team. You gotta have a couple of people that's willing to take care of some business, you know. But you're not asking them to go hurt nobody. But if the situation arises, they more equipped than maybe you are, because you know they've been in gunfights, you know, they've been in war. So I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think it definitely always starts, you know, from home. You know, my grandparents, my parents, you know, they made an impact, right? But I came to Nashville, what I say, 96, somewhere around there, 95, 96, to go to FIST. And so that experience exposed me to a lot of elders and to a lot of people, you know, that were forerunners in, you know, the culture. Dr. Wimbush was over at the Race Relations Institute, so he brought so many people to Nashville, you know, that we got to meet and learn from. You know, that, you know, let us know, you know, what it is, the work that they did, and pass the torch for us to continue. And, you know, like Baba Musa mentioned, you know, it's people like, you know, Baba Kwame that established so many ways for us to, you know, continue that and practice that in real life while we're here. You know, we got, you know, Baba Musa and them, you know, the village, you know, drum and dance from, you know, back in the day, like that was a staple in the community that really gave individuals an opportunity to walk the talk, you know what I mean, in so many ways. And so I think it's important, right, to have these little communities to give you an opportunity to, you know, really live what it is that you know, that you believe and learn, you know, from the elders. And so I've had so many opportunities to do that in so many ways. Just by the people that I've come across. But of course, you know, when we get ready, then what Bible says, the drum appeared, these things appeared. When we get ready, it appears, and so yeah, so many people, so many people, so many people. Well, so we the new criminal.
We the staple, so I'm gonna share this with you though. My mother used to say, if you see it need to be done, do the work. Don't wait for somebody else to do the work. If you see there's a need, do the work. Now, in doing the work, you're not looking for self gratification. Because if you're looking for self gratification, then somebody's gonna knock you off the wrong. Somebody could always try to shoot you or try to pull you down. But if you're doing it from the goodness of your heart, because the work needs to be done, then people will always have high remarks for it. And it just be the other way. Because I wasn't trying to do I was not trying to be a leader.
Right on the staple.
Be a leader, a pillar of the community. Who wants to be there? Who wants that job?
Don't they get technology for that? They got machines for that. No,
but seriously, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you do the work because the work needs to be done. And maybe I'm not the best qualified for it, but if I ask for some help, the help is going to help. The qualified help is going to show up. Even if I just take one step towards it, the help is going to come, But it comes in knowing self, not believing in yourself, but knowing who you are and what you made of, and what your purpose, what you come to this planet to do at this particular time. Because we chose to come here at this particular time to do whatever. Even though we made that contract on the other side, some of us forgot it, and some of us ain't. Because start playing that drum, next thing you know, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. That's what you do. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Because the other part of it is too, if we don't take the time as elders to pour into the youth, we don't take the time as elders to pour into them, then what example? What are we here for?
And who's gonna take the time to pour into us?
You know what I'm saying?
Like straight up, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe sometime our nourishment comes from the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because all of my peers is dead. But I still got to keep living. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I can call on this ancestor that I'm pouring this libation for. Maybe I can call on this ancestor, Maybe I call on that one right there that was, But you got to be careful on what you're taking in here and what you're allowing to come into here and what seeds that you're allowing to plant inside of yourself, because they're going to grow, And so you want to make sure that the seeds that you give are I'm going to say important, for lack of a better word. You want to make sure they're important to the grow.
Yeah, important. That's important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But to import ants. Now, the ant is a very productive creature that God has given us as an example to follow the work ethics. They follow a particular work ethic. They have a hierarchy. And if we follow that organization of how we move as an ant, how everything moves as one, you know. But most of us doing that to the end, you know. So we ain't importing that ant. We're not importing that ant into our what you call it. And then there's always a play on words too in this system of things. You know what I'm saying? Because every word has a dual meaning of dual what you call it, right?
Yes.
So
But that kind of goes back to what we're talking about as far as community, right? Oftentimes we're not moving as one, right? They ain't got nothing to do with me. All I know is I'm gonna be up here doing all this work by myself. There's no way that I'm gonna get it done, right? But you know what I'm saying? If I get into the groove with my people, it's like, oh yeah, that's what we do all day. We collect things. You don't even got to carry it that far. Just pass it to dude. So like, I mean, there's so many, yeah, like you said, different ways to do it. We don't have to, rebuild. It's already there, right? Standing on the shoulders of people that are supporting us because they did it before, right? And they don't want their work to go to waste, right? So that's part of being in community, right? Like it's people that did this before. You don't have to rebuild this, but you do have to protect it and move within it. Happy birthday.